Why are these scumbags even in my country? On the 12th of January 2022, Ashling Murphy, a beautiful young Irish woman, a teacher, was viciously murdered. Viciously, in the most heinous way imaginable. Stabbed repeatedly, mercilessly, in the neck. Barely fathomable, in the middle of the day while she was out for a jog. This crime was perpetrated by a foreign national, a member of the Roma community, Josef Puska, who has been convicted of her murder and is serving life at the moment. I say it's not good enough. In a cushy jail, he should have got the death sentence as far as I'm concerned. I'd bring it back just for people like him. Ashling Murphy, as far as I'm concerned, should still be alive. If the government was doing its job, Ashling Murphy would still be alive. She'd have probably recently gotten married to her fiancé. She'd be looking forward to having a family and continuing with her career in teaching, helping people. But she isn't. All of that's gone, all taken away because of open borders and letting in scum, vermin, animals like Josef Puska. But just this week, the culmination in another trial related to this case occurred, and that was the trial of Josef Puska's family. We're talking about his wife, we're talking about his brothers, we're talking about his sister-in-laws. Yes, it seems now confirmed by the verdict, they were all guilty as sin, of attempting to cover up this brutal, heinous, evil act, this heinous, evil murder of a beautiful young girl. They attempted to cover it up. They attempted to shield this monster, this absolute scum of the earth. And they have now been found guilty of that crime. Their sentence will come in due course. And somehow, this vermin are still out on bail. Still out on bail, waiting for the sentence. We are a beaten people, guys. In many ways, we are a failed state. We're a failed society. We're a failed society. If I had my way, none of these people would be here. And the question I have to ask today is, why are these people here? Josef Puska, this monster, never worked. He's here over 10 years. Never worked a day. Straight on to welfare and stayed on welfare. Disability of some kind or other. Yet he was able to cycle around day after day after day, perving on women, following women. In fact, on the day that Ashling Murphy was murdered, he'd followed 2 other women. That's what we're dealing with. That's the type of scum that open borders allows in. What does the government do? Nothing. They wait till something happens, then they address it. Well, that's not good enough for me. Josef Puska should have been put to the death sentence. And his family members, who are also in my mind, scum. They actually tried to cover up for the most heinous, brutal murder of an innocent young woman and keep this man somehow free and roaming around our society. What level of evil is that? I wouldn't send, it's going to be sentenced, and I hope it's brutal, but it's not going to be brutal enough, because here is exactly where I'd send him. I'd be on the phone to Nabili Bukele over in El Salvador. He's got a big prison there, and it's a damn good one. And this is where I would be sending the Puska family, to here. Will any of that happen? No. No, it won't. Of course it won't. Will they even get custodial sentences? Well, that remains to be seen. But even if they do, it'll be piecemeal. It'll be nothing. Nothing compared to the crime. They cover up. They knew what he had done. They heard the radio reports, the TV reports of how vicious, how evil, how heinous it was, how depraved it was. He told them what he had done. They burned his clothing to try and destroy evidence. They tried to keep this man, this monster, out on the streets, perving and following other women. These people are as guilty as he is, and the full rigour of every legal penalty we can inflict on them is only correct, is only proper. It won't be done because our government is weak, our politicians are weak. They can't make correct, difficult decisions when difficult decisions need to be made. They can't do it because the wrong people are there. The wrong people are in power. The wrong people are in Parliament. The government's reckless open borders policy, which they are intent on keeping going, is killing this country. It's killing our people, literally. This Sunday, 2 p.m, the Garden of Remembrance in Dublin. If you can at all be there, be there. Take to the streets. Fly the flag. Let these shills in Dáil Éireann know we have had enough.